Little do people know, Mad Cat, that far from just being the leader of Mad Organization and the diabolical leader of the underworld, I, Dr. Claw, am also an avid Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and I'm determined to give LeBron James the championship that he so rightly deserves here in Cleveland. My plan is coming to fruition. I've kidnapped the daughter of Adam Silver, giving me the precise leverage I need to have the fix go in. I ordered LeBron James and Kyrie Irving to play like shit the first 2 games to have be the betting odds in my favor. Now to corner the gambling circuits. Game 3, we won by 30, Mad Cat. And now, onward to the championship. Gadget can't stop me this time.
Hey, who the fuck was that guy? Anyway, what a game, right? Well, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. I knew Cleveland was going to win this game. Now, I'm not going to say I knew they were going to win by 30, but I pretty much knew they were going to win this game. And how this shit usually goes, right? I'm not saying that Cleveland's going to win the series, but many times I've seen a team look fucking spectacular, win the first 2 games at their house, in emphatic fashion, and people will, declare the series over. And I know from watching basketball that oftentimes teams just do not look the same on the road as they do at home. The crowd just does something. It's that the crowd's like that 7th man, or that, it's like the crowd just in particular, the crowd affects the bench. It's like the bench players from the 6th man on down just play so much better, generally speaking, so much better at home than they do on the road. Now, there are exceptions, of course. But, I just kind of had a feeling that Cleveland, with the pressure on them, they were going to come out hard. The question was going to be whether Golden State would be able to respond, and they tried to, but it just wasn't there tonight for Golden State. It just wasn't there. Kyrie Irving had a huge first quarter. I think he scored like 16 points in the first quarter. LeBron James finally got it going, though, with 32 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. But he was kind of pissing me off a lot of those fucking easy. The guy simply has lost the touch, his shooting touch, man. He was missing a lot of shots inside that normally he would have made before. Could just be this particular game. Maybe he was rushing it a little bit. I don't know. He was just missing a lot of shots inside that I thought normally he would make. But he played well, generally speaking. Everybody pretty much played well. J.R. Smith finally showed up. He had 5 3-pointers. I think he had something like 20 points or 22 points, something like that. Tristan Thompson had a double-double, like 13 points and 14 rebounds or something like that. They didn't need Kevin Love tonight. Shit, they looked better without him, to be honest with you. And they had the nerve to show that goddamn commercial with him drinking chocolate milk and shit. Well, maybe that's what the fuck you need to be doing, nigga. Drink some fucking chocolate milk while you're, trying to recover from that fucking pounding migraine headache that you're dealing with. Or, no, I shouldn't say migraine. He's having concussions. But still, they look really good, man. And I'm trying to think of anything I want to say about Cleveland. They look like the team that we saw the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. that version of the Cleveland Cavaliers are a championship caliber team. That's what they're capable of doing. Up until this morning, man, I was convinced. I was thinking Golden State was going to sweep this team or go 4-1. But I started thinking, man, there's no way. Even though I criticized LeBron a lot, there's no fucking way that they were going to allow Golden State to come to their place and beat them there. Not now. Not in this set of circumstances. I was watching, like I said, I was watching ESPN earlier, man, and I was listening to Stephen A. Smith talk about how he thinks that Golden State was just too much for them. Cleveland just can't match up with this team. I was thinking, like, that's bullshit. And then, I'm gonna tell you something. You know what really turned me against that what I was thinking earlier? When he referred to people on the internet, he said Twitter, but he said on the internet as morons. Stephen A. Smith, you motherfucker, I've heard you say shit on your show and on ESPN that you regurgitate from reading shit off the internet. Even here on YouTube, I might add. People here on YouTube, I've heard you regurgitate shit that I've heard people say on here who are a lot more knowledgeable. Now, don't get me wrong, Stephen Smith, you are very knowledgeable when it comes to the ins and outs of the business and the ins and outs of, the gossip, inside track in the NBA. You know your shit when it comes to that. But don't tell me that you don't fucking listen to our videos or listen to people or these guys are pretty much coached before they get on air, man, about shit. But anyway, we called people like me and other people that upload pretty much collectively as morons. I said, fuck that guy. I'm not siding with him. I'm going my instinct any fucking way. I thought that Cleveland was going to fucking come out and win, and they did. Their defense was incredible tonight, man. I mean, they were just swarming. They were fucking everywhere, man. So many fucking deflections and hands-on shots, and that Barboza wasn't coming with that shit tonight, though. He was trying to drive. Barboza likes to fucking drive and penetrate and throw up like these fucking goddamn layups, and not throw up layups, but throw up sort of like these off glass layups and shots, and it was pinning that shit tonight, man. None of that shit. On Golden State side of things, it's pretty bad when Harrison Barnes is your leading scorer. When Harrison Barnes is leading the team in scoring, something's not right. Klay Thompson had 10 points. He didn't shoot well. Klay gets very frustrated when he's not scoring because that's pretty much all he can do to contribute. Stephen Curry kind of got it going a little bit in the third quarter, but he had 19 points, and this is right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think in this finals he's averaging 16 points a game. And some Stephen Curry fans aren't going to like what I'm going to say, but this series is sort of highlighting why I have said that Curry is a bit overrated on many different fronts. Number one, he can be slowed down by superior defenses. And also, it's not like it's just this game. Games 1 and games 2, he was not nearly as prolific as he'd been during the regular season. And Golden State still was beating the bejabbers out of Cleveland. Tonight it didn't matter. Tonight he could have scored fucking 35, 40 points. They still would have probably lost. And it also goes into the regular season, because many of the times during the regular season, Curry would score 40, 45 points. But Golden State would have won by 18, 19, 20 points. And I guess you could make the argument that his points had something to do with it, but a lot of times I've seen Curry score 25, 30, 35 points and not play in the fourth quarter because Golden State would just be up by so many fucking points. Their team is loaded, really, to be honest with you. And I prove it to you. As weak as the center position is, Andrew Bogut is still one of the better centers in the NBA. Not quite the guy he once was in Milwaukee, but he's still one of the better centers. I'm not saying he's the top, but he's one of the better centers. All right. Klay Thompson. You can make the argument that he's the best shooting guard in the NBA. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't personally believe that, but somebody can make the argument, and I can't totally dispute it. Of course, most people now are of the opinion that Stephen Curry is the best point guard in the NBA. All right. Andre Iguodala was once an all-star. Sometimes he starts, sometimes he doesn't. Draymond Green is an all-star caliber player. Sean Livingston used to be a near all-star caliber player before his injuries. All right, Andrew Barboza was once upon a time, you younger guys, when he was with Phoenix, he was once upon a time a near borderline all-star like player. Nearly, maybe a little bit under that, but somewhat in that realm between solid to borderline all-star. All right. Harrison Barnes is a good player. I'm not going to say he's up there, but he's good, especially on defense. Vera Ajao, decent. I remember in his prime, he was a decent rebounder, decent defender. Nothing special, but still. And like I said, you know, you had what's that guy, Kesey? He's okay. But the thing that strikes me about Golden State is they have a lot of shooters, and I've never seen a regular team, not some all-star team or dream team, with this many amount of guys who could shoot. That's what really is striking about this team. That's what makes it hard to guard this team. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that Curry's great, but it's not all about Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take Curry off this team, no, they're not a championship team, but they're still very fucking good. Very good. They're still a 50-plus win team without Curry. Anyway. Oh, yeah. For those who like, you know, talk about like, well, what's in the NBA rigged? You notice how they try to put the fuck the Curry early with fouls? They always do that shit, man. Every time the officials try to dictate the game, they always get some key guy in foul trouble early, pick up a quick 2 fouls, and he gets 3 fouls, and they just sort of told it. This is shit, you know, whatever. Like, you know, some people are like, well, you just trying to make this excuses. I'm not trying to fucking say excuses, man. I've just been watching this shit for years, man. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. They always get a certain guy, a key guy on the team, in foul trouble. You know, like, if it's a team that's a defensive team with shot blockers, they used to do that shit with like Mourning and Mutombo. They'll get a guy like him in foul trouble, get him out the game, and all of a sudden, with the shot blockers out of the way, here come the drivers, here come the slashers. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever, man. Whatever. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. But anyway, Cleveland still down. The series now 2-1. They don't get much rest. Friday is game 4. I think Cleveland evens the series up Friday. I think Cleveland now has gotten that monkey off their back. They had lost 7 consecutive games to this team. They emphatically win tonight. that should give them the confidence that they need to play much looser, not be as hesitant, not having in the back of their head, can we really beat these guys? They really need this win. They got that monk up their back. I think Golden State's going to come out with a vengeance Friday, though. I think they're going to come out hard. I think they might be the team that sneaks out and have an early lead. I think Curry might try to come out and get off early. Because he really hasn't had a breakthrough game in this series. And to be honest with you, he really hasn't had a breakout game against Cleveland, period. I don't remember one during the playoffs last year in the finals. Not really. During the regular season, I'm trying to remember. There was that blowout victory they had. He might have had a big game in that one. I can't remember. But the Christmas Day game, he didn't play very well. Cleveland generally plays him very well. They usually put a guy like what's that white boy name? Metavinko, or whatever his name is. They usually put him on him, and he does a pretty good job. Or they'll have a series of defenders, or double him. But they do a really good job on Stephen Curry. They do. So game 4 is Friday.